by this way.
Okay. So just show me the variables. I said create all the things in a generic value, right? Not the scope, variable type as generic value.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that scope is in.
No. So all the variable types should be a generic value and check it out the output.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I can see.
Yeah, just do it now itself and just correct your all the codes like wherever you have used dots, two strings and all.
Okay, okay. I'll change it.
In the meantime, I will
Uh,
check with Amy.
okay, okay. Yeah, I'm stopped
Yes.
to then.
Yeah, sure. So
Hello.
yes, Amy, like what's your input on the assignment?
I have just started.
Pardon?
Hello.
Yeah, Amy, I can hear you.
Okay. I have just started it.
Okay, so still you haven't completed the flow.
No.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not getting all the things well. So I'm understanding your recorded video and doing things.
Okay. So what exactly you're not getting? I mean, like, am I too fast in explaining the things or?
No, you are going
Uh-huh.
good, but I am doing first time seeing video, then doing practice,
Okay.
both similarly.
Okay.
So I can get all the things
Yeah.
proper.
Yeah. So in the sessions, are you getting the things right? What I'm explaining?
Yeah.
So in the session,
Got it.
you're not finding any difficulty.
No, not until this. If I
Okay.
will get it, then I will tell you.
Okay. Sure. So when you see the recorded video kind of a thing, there you are facing bit difficulty to understand the things, right?
Yes.
Okay. So whenever you're watching a video and if you're stuck at any point, like you are not getting the things or something is happening, then what I would recommend you to do is just put up that anyways we have a group, right? In that, just
Yes.
put up that message, what exactly you're not getting and what is the issue you are facing, so that I can send some voice note or some other thing, like some script kind of a thing, so that you understand it better.
Okay. Sure.
So just do
I'll
that. And
do.
like, I don't want your learning to stop. So that's the reason.
Okay.
So don't stop yourself here and there. If you're not getting, anyways, you know where you can reach out to me. I'm always available,
Yeah.
but you have to give a try and practice the things.
Okay.
So till you practice, you will not get this platform. This is one of the easiest platform, but you have to practice it. If you practice, then this is the platform for you. You can build a great career out of it. If not, it
Okay.
is very quite difficult. Initially,
Oh,
we are in the first phase. We are seeing the very basics. As you move on, we will advance our topics and we'll see some other topics as well. So during
oh,
that phase, if you are not very much familiar with the basics, then you'll strive really hard over there. So that's the reason I'm giving a time for you guys to work on it and just give me your findings.
okay.
So please do that. And whenever you're stuck, put it in the group. If not me, even
Yeah.
Arpit is there, even he can help you. So here, everyone are learning. We have to help each other to reach our goal. So don't hesitate yourself, and there should not be of any fear.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're learning in a slow fashion, it's fine. It's completely fine. The way how I learn, the way Arpit runs, the way you learn, it is completely different. We cannot gauge everything at once. So leave out the fear and speak boldly and ask the questions whenever you have, so that you can get the topics in a better way.
Okay.
Yes. So I want this confidence. And if you are stuck at any point or if you're not getting the things, ask me then and there.
Okay. I will ask you a question. Okay.
Yes.
whenever I stuck at any point.
Sure. Sounds good then. So this is the kind of a confidence voice I want from you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. And Arpit, did you do the changes?
Yes, I did it. Just the same output, but just I have to change the two string. Like I think it will it will take any value. I think as an input. Like data type doesn't matter the data type in default
Okay,
button.
just put up your screen and just showcase the output.
Okay. I'm sharing right now.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, it looks good. And all the generic value, yes, it looks good. And if you run this
Oh,
workflow,
yeah.
hit that play button directly. That
Okay.
continue button you have now. Yeah, click on that. So you got
That's
an
fine.
output. Just now open up the output panel
That is it.
below top bottom left below project. Yes. Now, based on your understanding, like what is the output we are getting?
Like string plus string, uh, concatenate, and if we have a number, then it will do addition. And if we have a string and number, it consider as a string. Number is considered as a string if we are concatenating. Like 1 2 3 1 2 3. The
Mhm.
third one, the last one same. It will consider as a string.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah, did you get this? Like what he's trying to explain and what is the workflow he have built? I mean,
Ye- Yes.
so did you get the flow what he have built and what the output he is getting?
Mm, little bit get it.
Okay. Arpit, over to you. Just explain your flow, what you have built it, and what is the thing you are seeing that as an output.
Okay.
Later, let's
Mm,
validate it's right or wrong.
okay, I'll explain it. Here, what mentioned already in the on the
Just a minute.
assignment.
Just a minute. Like, Amy, just look into the flow,
Yes.
and I'll be asking some of this question on it for both of you guys.
Sure.
So please do concentrate on this. Yes, over to you, Arpit.
Uh, as you mentioned in the assignment, we have four variables, and with the generic value variables, this one, and the value will be the 1 2 3 4 5 6. It will be string because of the it included by the uh, ports. That's why, and C and D both are will be the numbers. Then after we have to print in a bright line by doing expression. So for that one, I took it variable type generic value for these all are variable, and the value is 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. It will be in a string, and this is number. And for workflow, I just as they mentioned in the assignment, like this, it, I did this way. Just I did the like I make the expression, and I put it in a right line, and I go and I get the result like regular. This one is a this one is a string, so a plus b means it will be concatenate. To string will be concatenate by plus sign, and 579. The result will be the addition. It will consider the number both, and it will do addition. Here a is a string, so plus concatenate with the number directly. So it will assume the C will be the string, not the number, because we are concatenating. And the last 4, 5, 6, same like as usual, A plus C, B plus D. That's it.
So did you guys get the flow? Amy?
Means I did what? Didn't get you, sir.
Hello.
Pardon? I didn't get you. You were saying something.
So no, just I didn't get you.
What did you get? What didn't you get?
The output.
The output, why you're getting that, you're not getting.
Maybe I'm not sure because, but A plus C maybe because of that. This one is string and the C will be as a, it will take as a string because we are concatenating it with string. That's why I'm not sure.
You got the output right. In the output
Mm.
line, you're seeing an output.
Yes, we can see.
Just approve it. Yeah, now I can control your screen. Now let me explain you guys what exactly the workflow is. Now we have created 4 variables A, B, C, D. All are data type as generic. Now in A, I have given double quotes and I have given number as 1, 2, 3. In the B, I have given as in the double quotes 4, 5, 6. But in C and D, I have given 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6 without double quotes. After doing this, what I'm doing, I'm using a right line and I'm doing A plus B plus. If you remember in our previous classes, we talked about this plus. And we have
Yeah.
another right line, which is C plus D. C plus D. And similarly, A plus C, B plus D. We are giving that. And by giving this, we are getting output as this. Like the first output, A plus B as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second output, C plus D as 5, 7, 9. Whereas third output, A plus C, that is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Whereas last but not the least is B plus D. We are getting 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. Did you guys get why exactly we are getting this as an output? Amy, did you get
Yes,
it?
got it. Yeah.
Why we are getting this as an output? Even though we are giving the same values in A as well as B as well as C and D. It's the same, but in the first A plus B, I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But second C plus D, I'm just getting 3 numbers. Why? Why is that?
Because A and B is written in the double quotes.
If it is written in double quotes means?
In the question you have given that.
Okay, we have
And
given in double
C
quotes.
and D is a whole number.
So this is, you're seeing it as what? What type? Data type, if I give it in double quotes.
Mhm.
Anything if we give in double quotes, then what does it indicate?
It's a string.
Yeah, string. We have given, you are saying that A and B, we have given in double quotes. So that's this is of a string. And C and D, we haven't given in double quotes. Then this is of
Not given. It's integer.
Integer. Okay. So if that's the case, then you mean to say I'm doing an addition of A plus B, that is string plus string. So I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next, I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like this, both are number. So it is adding up and it is giving me output as 5, 7, 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how about this? A plus C. A is of a string and the
Yes.
number. But output what I'm getting is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
But if I give is this the same expression? Like where is your ping? See, A plus B, C plus D, A plus C, C plus A. C,
It's a C plus C.
A. Okay, first two things we got something, but let's see the next two part.
Yeah.
A plus C and C plus A. A plus C output is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. C plus
Yeah.
A is 2, 4, 6.
2, 4, 6.
Why? Okay, you're saying that C is of an integer. It's fine, but A is of a
Yeah.
string. What exactly it's doing?
Concat.
It will consider whatever it will show the first one. Maybe the A will be the string, so the second one will be the string. We'll consider that. And here the first one is a number, so we will consider
Yeah.
that this one will be number. By this way, it will maybe, I'm not sure, but this, because the generic value type is include all the data type.
Yes, exactly. As you said, it's right. See, whatever the bot sees, the first index, if first value it sees, if it is starting with double quotes, then irrespective of the next variable data type, since we have given generic value, right? So generic value means it can be anything. It can be a boolean,
Yeah.
it can be an integer, it can be a string, it can be a date and time, irrespective of the data types. So the bot, what it will do is when it encounters the first thing, if it is of an integer, then it's going to do an addition. If it is of a string, then it's going to do a concatenation. That's the beauty of this generic value. Now for this, let me give you one live scenario, how it will be. In the live environment, we will be building, let's assume you are building a two different workflow A and workflow B. Now what you're doing, you're passing the output of workflow A and you're giving input to workflow B. Let's assume you have built it in this way. When you put up this workflow in the production, in the live environment, when it is running, you're getting an output. It's fine. So you're going to leave that workflow and you're going to go. After a couple of weeks, that workflow which is running in production, it will fail. It will fail to execute. When you investigate what was the issue, then you see that workflow A, it has to generate string as an output and you have to give string as an input to workflow B. That was the workflow what you have designed. But now what happened is workflow A started to generate an integer value rather than string. Because of that, workflow is failing. Now you see that, okay, it's often generating string, right? So as an RPA developer, what you're going to do? You're going to change the workflow A as an integer output and workflow B also integer input. And you're going to run it. It is working fine. You're going to put it in production. Even then it is running fine. But again, after some couple of weeks, that workflow will fail again. When you investigate that, then again you see that workflow A is generating now a Boolean value, true or false. Now, That's the reason the workflow B is not accepting it. Why? Because you have configured to accept only integer value. But now it started to generate Boolean. In that case, what you have to do? You have to change it again, change the data type to a Boolean, and you have to move forward. See, this cannot be going on and on and on. Why? Because you're dealing with a production. In the production, you cannot stop the workflow, address the error, and again do the changes. You cannot do that. So there should be some solution in this kind of a scenario. You don't know what workflow A is generating. Irrespective of that, workflow B should accept the data and it has to start processing. In this case, we're going to use a generic value. We're going to say that workflow B, hey, workflow B, change the data type U2 and generic. So you're going to change the data type of that workflow B to a generic. As soon as you do that, irrespective of the data, what it is flowing from workflow A, whether it is of an integer, whether it's of a string, whether it's of a Boolean, irrespective of that, the workflow B will accept the data and it will start processing. That's the use case and that is the data type what we have in UiPath, which is of a great help when we face this kind of a scenario. Did you guys get it? Where exactly we're going to use this and how it's going to work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any questions over here on the generic value?
No.
Anything to be explained over here again?
No.
Okay. So
Mm,
let me put up my screen now. Let's talk about the next topics, what we wanted to discuss. Okay. So now, yes, we are into another session on the UiPath. In our previous class, what we have seen? We have seen the two major topics, which is of variables and the arguments. We have understood how to store a data inside some container and how to retrieve it. And we have seen an argument, how to pass the data between the workflows. And next, we have seen an workflow, uh, like in the variables and arguments, we were dealing with a single data. We have seen an approach to handle the multiple datas in one container. We saw about that as well. Now, by having a knowledge on these three topics, which is of an arguments, variables, and the control flow, now let's jump into something called as a control flow. What do we mean by a control flow and why it is necessary? See, till now, we were running the workflow. Yes, it is running absolutely fine. As soon as you hit run button, the bot is starting from the top and ending at the bottom. See, it is going from top to the bottom. But no way you are controlling. See, if something happens, if the data is yes, then do this. If the data is no, then do that. This kind of a mechanism, this kind of a controlling of your bot, you need it. Till now, what your bot is doing, it is executing from the top and it is ending at the bottom. Now you want to control, you want to take a control over your bot. You want your bot to do some validation and then only proceed further. In that case, we need some of the activities to control our bot. Which are those activities? Which will be defined in this control flow. We have three types. We will discuss the three different control flow mechanism. First is if else mechanism. Second is looping mechanism. The third one is switch. These are the three things which we're going to be discussing. Let me repeat it. First is if else. Second is loops. Third is switch. So these are the three things which we're going to be discussing. If else, loop, and switch. First, let's pick it up the first one, which is of if else. Now, let's talk about that. Let me go back to my workflow. Here is my flow. And yesterday we have created variables, arguments, arrays. Now let me create a new sequence. And I would say as, okay, let me just create this as a sequence itself. And let me create, okay, something just happened. Sequence, what just happened? Sequences here. I think this beta version is not running as expected. Okay, let me close and reopen again my studio. I think it's taking some time to load up. So this is the thing what we have created. It's taking some more time to create me a workspace. Let me open up the main workflow. The sequence we have created, right? Let me open up that itself directly. Okay, so the sequence is open up and see if you see here the variables thing. See if I run it, the bot go from the top to the bottom. Here, anywhere we are not controlling anything. So this is the thing what we test. We have now we want to build some control mechanism. Just now I have created a sequence. See here, this is the sequence which we were creating till now. And with this, let me create one flow chart as well. See, it's often another template. See, sequence, flow chart. These are the two templates what we have. One is sequence I have drag and drop, and another one is a flowchart, which it is here. As you can see, the sequence, it has and something as drop an activity here, but it has some start button. Now guys, like start making a note of these two things. I'll be discussing about the difference between the sequence and the flowchart. Parallelly, I'll be talking about the if-else thing, the first control mechanism. So both the things I'll be addressing. So whenever I say a difference, please do make a note of it. At the end of the session, I will just ask you to just list out all the differences between the sequence and the flowchart. So the first difference is the UI. In sequence, the UI here I would get as drop activity here, but whereas in the flowchart, I get something as this with a start button. Let me go to the sequence, and here let's build an if-else kind of an mechanism, if-else kind of a controlling over here. Now let's take up an use case. Use case. What is a use case is? The first thing is the bot should ask me a question like stating that please enter an year. The bot should ask me a question like stating that please enter an year. As soon as I enter an year is 2022 or 2018, 2020, whatever the year. As soon as I type an year, the bot should process and it should give me an output like stating that the year what I have entered, human have entered, whether that is a leap year or not. That is the thing, it should give me an output. Whether that is a leap year or not, it should give me. Now let's build this. So what it is, it should ask me a question like stating that please enter an year. As soon as I enter an year, it should give me an output like stating that if it is a leap year, it should say as yes, it is a leap year. If it has no, it should not. It is not a leap year. It has to give me. This is my scenario. This is my use case. Now let's build that. So first and foremost is it should ask me a question. If it has to ask me a question means what activity we have to ask a question. Input dialog box, which we already saw about it. Let me configure it. I would say here as year and in the input label as please enter an year question mark. And let me store it in a variable called year. So if I run it, I'm going to get a pop-up like stating that please enter an year. As soon as I type in, that value will be stored in this variable called year, which is good. We are done with this. Next, let me drag something called as an if activity. Let me just drag and drop over here. See, this is the if else activity. Now here it is asking me a question, it's asking me a condition and a place where if the condition satisfies, then what the bot should do. If condition is not satisfied, then what the bot should do. Here, this is the thing it is asking. Let me configure it and let me explain you guys that. Let me drag a message box over here and another message box over here. So two message box, I have dropped it. Now here I would say as yes, sorry, no, it's not an leap year. And here it should type as yes, it's an leap year. Now let me give a condition over here as year mod 4 if it is equal to 0. Now, let me print the screen and yes. Now, question for you guys. If I say 20 divided by 4, then what will be the answer? 20 by 4 months. Guys, what will be the answer if I say 20 divided by 4 months?
5.
5. Yeah, obviously 4 times 5 is 20. So the answer is 5. It's right. Actually, how the answer is 5? Let me show you. If you want to divide 20 by 4, if you want to divide 20 by 4, then so 4 times 5 is 20. So the answer is, when you get answer as a 0 below, now you would say as like how many 20 times 5 is the answer you're getting is 0. So you would say as answer as 5. This is the reminder. This is the question what you have got, and that is the answer. When I say divide a number by 4 months, you would say quotient as an answer. Right. That is the what? 20 by 4 is. If I say 20 mod 4, see 20 mod 4. If I say 20 mod 4, then the answer would be 0. Why 0? I'm going to take up the reminder. When I'm doing a modulus, reminder is my answer. When I'm doing a division, then quotient is my answer. When I'm doing a division, quotient is my answer. When I'm doing a modulus, reminder is my answer. That is the difference between the modulus and division. Divide means quotient will be your answer. Modulus means reminder will be your answer. Now, I'm using this as a logic and I'm asking my bot to decide. Year mod 4. If any year, if it is completely divisible by 4, let me repeat it. If any year, if it is completely divisible by 4, then I would call that as a leap year. If any year, if it is not completely divisible by 4, then I would call that as a not a leap year. See, that's the reason I'm doing year mod 4. Why 4? We know every 4 years we're going to get a leap year, right? So that's the reason I've given as 4. If we would have had every 5 years as a leap year, then I would have given 5. But now every 4 years it's of a leap year, so that's the reason I've given as 4. Year mod 4. If it is equal to 0, if it is equal to 0, then yes, it's a leap year. If it is not equal to 0, then else, not a leap year. Did you guys get the question? This condition?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the reason I have given as year mod 4 is equal to 0. And if I run this workflow, I should be getting an output. But here itself, I'm getting some error symbol. Let me highlight it and see. It says as strict or disallow implicit conversion from string to a double. Okay, if I see my variables, see here, year is of a type string. Here, what I'm doing and something like UiPath divided by 4. Can we divide a word with a number? No, right? So that is what we have given a condition right now. Year is of a string type. String, the modulus of 4. I'm just checking whether it is equal to 0. That doesn't make any sense. So what we have to do is, we want to convert this to an integer so that this condition will support. One way of doing is, Just click on the variable panel and change it to an integer. See, if I do that, the error is gone. Let me click over here. Why it is still showing? This field is required. If EM mod 4 is equal to 0. Yeah, now it's gone. Okay. If it is equal to 0, then satisfying the question. If not, no. One way of doing is converting this to an integer. We did. It's right now, I don't see any error. It's good. Apart from that, let me revert back the change. If we keep it as a string, as soon as we do that, we are getting an error. Over here itself, we can change to an integer. How? See here. C int. Let me enclose only year with this bracket. Why? Because this is the thing, right? It's of a string type. So only at this area, see, only at this box, I'm converting the year variable to an integer. But outside this, it will be of a string. Let me show you that. If I keep year variable plus, if I see as this, it's valid. If I see as year plus operator and hyphen, see, suppose. Let's try with the first option. First option is converting this to an integer, right? If I convert to an integer, see, the error is gone for this area. Why? Because this is of an integer, modulus 4, it is working. But I'm getting an error for this message box. See, what is the message box I'm trying to enter? If I give year as 2020, 2020, yes, it's of a leap year. 2021, yes, it's of a leap year. See here, even here, I am just planning to do the same. Here, no, that's not a leap year. So that the human can understand what exactly, what exactly the year he have given, which is the leap year and which is the not a leap year, he gonna understand. So that's the reason I'm giving that in the message box in that way. If I change it to an integer, I'm getting an issue with the message box. If I change it to a string, then I'm getting an issue with the condition block. See here, this message box will take only string as an input, not the other types. But the condition here, I want this to an integer so that it will work. In this case, we have an option. Only at this area, I want to convert this to an integer, right? So we have an option to give as cint, that is convert to an integer only in this container, in this block. Outside this, it should be as a string itself. See here? Now, here also I don't get error. Here also I don't get error. In this way, you can convert the data types only at a smaller area, which we did over here. Now let me run this workflow and check it out. I have triggered the workflow. Okay, it's taking some time. Let me cancel it and let me rerun it. I think I have some serious issue with my studio. Yeah, now it's running something. So it should give me a pop-up for requesting an ear. See, I got a pop-up. Now here, let me just state as something as 2017. Let's see whether that was a leap year or not. No, 2017. No, it's not a leap year. That's what bot says. Okay, let me rerun it again. Let me just give an year as 2025 or 26. No, even 2026 is not a leap year. How about 2036? Let me give that. $2036. Yes, 2036 is a leap year. See, that means our workflow, it's running as expected. It's whatever the year we give, whether it's of a leap year or not, the bot is guessing and it is giving us an output. This is the way how you can control your bot by using an if else condition. Do you guys get this on the sequence? Now, let me do the same thing in the flowchart. In the sequence, I have built the same scenario, the same workflow. Let me build it in flowchart. Now start noticing the difference. The first activity itself, the input dialog box. So I have copied from there and I have pasted. So input dialog box. See, over here in the sequence, it is in the detailed view. See here, I can see dialog title, input label, text box and all. But whereas in flowchart, it is condensed view. If I want to view it, see here, double. Whereas in the sequence, but whereas here, it is in the condensed view. Okay. Next. Here, after input dialog box, let me use an flow decision. See here, flow decision. If else in sequence. See here, if else. If then else is in sequence. In sequence, this is the activity to control. But whereas in the flow chart, flow decision is the activity to control our flow. If the condition is true, what bot should do? If condition is false, then what bot should do? If condition is true, then this is the message box I want. And if condition is false, this is the message box I want. Let me copy both of the things and use it over here. See here, that's the reason I ask you guys to rename the activities. See here, I have copied that activity from this to this. Right now, I don't know whether this is of a leap year or this is of a not a leap year. I don't know. To view it, I need to double click it. See, yes, it is a leap year. Whereas this, it is obviously, no, it is not a leap year. If I would have renamed it, then it would be very easy for me to understand which is leap year and not. I would see as leap year. So that's the reason we call this as a best practice, renaming your activities, not a leap year. See, this is the thing. First, see here. We in flowchart, we have something called as a start button. In the start button, we have to navigate how the bot should execute. First, the bot should execute input dialog, and next it should execute flow decision. In the flow decision, if the condition is true, then it should say as leap year. If the condition is false, then it should say as no, it is not a leap year. This is the way how the bot should execute. Here itself, I'm getting some error, like indicating that year variable is not created yet. So let me recreate it. So it will be of an string type variables, right? So now in this sequence, what we did, we haven't changed the data type to integer. We have followed the second method by using an cin. But here in the flowchart, let's do the other way around. Let me change it to an integer. If I change it to an integer, where all I would get an error? I would get an error on the message box. See here, I got an error. Now let me address it. So here it says as year, because this is of an integer type. So we know this error. Now at this place only, let me change it to one string. How to do it? Use CSTR, convert to a string. CSTR, convert to a string. See, the error is gone for leap year. Now let me do the same thing for not a leap year. CSTR, open the bracket and close that year in that thing. See, again, over here also, it's gone. Now, this flow is ready now. If I run this workflow, even it should ask me a question like whether it's of a leap year or not. If it is of a leap year, then it should give me that message. If not, it should not give me. It should give me as no, it's not a leap year. Okay, it says as condition must set before the flow decision. Oh, okay. See here. Let me just dock it. See, in the flow decision, we haven't given any condition at all. So on what condition the bot decides? We haven't given that. Now, let me give that. So which is year mod foo if it is equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, then leap year. If not, no. Let me run this flow now. The flow has started. It's asking me a question. Let me type it as something as what? How about 2046? No, 2046 is not a leap year. Okay, let me run it again and let me check it out for an year as how about 2084? Let me see. (2084). Let me just hit OK. See, 2084. Yes, it's of a leap year. We got it. That means this workflow is running as expected. It is able to identify which is leap year and which is not leap year. If you just go and see the calendar for this years, you would see in the February, we'll be having some additional days. We call that as a leap year. If we don't have some additional days, then we will not call that as a leap year. So that is the thing what we have under flowchart. In the flowchart, this is the way how it looks. In the activity panel, if you just type as flow, see here, these are the 3 activities which are dedicated to flowchart. See, these are the 3 activities which are dedicated to flowchart. See, I can drag and drop these activities over here. In the flowchart, I can drag and drop these activities. But whereas If I want to drag and drop the same activities in sequence, I cannot. See here? Block symbol. I cannot drag and drop. I cannot do it. This is often another difference. First difference what we saw is like it is in a detailed view sequence. In the flowchart, it is often condensed view. And the second difference is the if condition. The if condition in the sequence is in this way. The if condition in the flowchart is in this way. The flow decision we call over here. In sequence, we call as if else. That's often another difference. And another difference between the sequence and the flowchart is we have some set of activities which are dedicated to flowchart, which we cannot use it in sequence. But whereas all the sequence activity, see here, in the flowchart, if I want to drag and drop the sequence activity, for example, the sequence block itself, I can do it. I can drag and drop all the sequence activities I want over here. But whereas the flowchart activities, I cannot use it in sequence. That's often a condition what we have. That's often another difference.
I said, what is the second one? The if else loop, like if else conditions. What the second?
Like here, the in sequence, we have an activity to control that is of if else. But whereas in the flowchart, it's flow decision, which controls the flow.
Okay.
And the third difference is I can use all the activities of the flowchart in the flowchart, but not in a sequence. I can use all activity of sequence in the flowchart as well as in the sequence. That's often another difference what we have between sequence and the flowchart. And you can ask me a question like stating that, okay, when to use sequence and when to use flowchart? Yes. This flowchart is always used at the front end of the workflows. See, when I want to present my workflow to my manager, he's not at all a developer. But if I want to present my workflow, then I will be presenting in this way, in the flowchart way, so that he understand easily. Okay, input dialog, it's asking some question. If condition satisfied, leap year. If not, not a leap year. As soon as he see this diagram, he gonna understand. He gonna get that flow. Okay, what exactly the workflow is doing. But when you show the same workflow in this way, see, this itself has more details. See, this more details kind of a things is for the developers. But when we are showing to the business users, business people, they are least bothered about these details. See, if you show them, they will not understand anything out of it. But when you show them this, the graphical representation of the thing, graphical representation of your workflow, then they're going to understand your workflow in a better way. See, that's the difference. The thing what you have between the sequence and the flowchart. Just a minute. Yeah. So this is the difference what you have between the sequence and the flowchart. Now, I just wanted to highlight the other one. Suppose That's what I said. Like when you want to showcase to the business, the front end, like it will be over here in this way. And if I want to use a flow chart in this kind of a scenario, let me give you one scenario. Suppose if you have a scenario as more, you have a scenario where you have to use many conditions. Your workflow has many conditions to be built. If that's the case, let's try it in sequence. In sequence, if else, right? So if else, let me just drag and drop. So I got some if else over here. If condition is not satisfying, I have another condition to check, if else. And if the condition is not satisfying, again, some another if else. See, if I keep on adding, look at the flow, how it is becoming. See, it's very becoming complex, right? When you have such kind of a scenario, when you have a multiple condition kind of a scenario, then we prefer you to go and use the flow chart. Why? Because let me show the same steps in the flow. If you want to have a condition like flow decision, which we have added. If you want to have another one, yeah, see here, you can add it. If the condition is not satisfied, if you want to add it another one, you can add it. If the condition is not satisfied, if you want to add another one, see, you can add it. Even though you have multiple kind of a condition, this workflow is not at all like complex, as anyone can easily see and understand it in a better way. But whereas in sequence, it becomes very tedious for us to build the workflow. So this is often another difference. This is the place where you use it and where you will not use it. When you have a multiple condition kind of a scenario, there you'll be using a flow chart. When you have a less condition kind of a scenario, then sequence would be the best thing. Now you got it, where we have to use a flow chart and where we should not use. When you're showing the business users, the front end will be your flow chart. When you're having multiple condition kind of a scenario, then you'll be using a flow chart. But apart from that, in rest of the cases, you're going to be using a sequence. Now, suppose like you have built some workflow. Let me select this. Now you have built this workflow, and here you see that, okay, now I need to use a flow chart. Then if you want to use, after building so many activities over here, now you feel that, okay, I need to use a flow chart over here. Then do we need to change all this activity to the flow chart and you want to work on? No, it's not necessary. You can build a flow chart inside sequence. Let me show you that. You have an activity, see here, flow chart kind of a thing. See, look at the symbol. Let me just drag and drop. See, I can drag and drop this one, but not the other two. See here, this is often sequence. This is often sequence. Inside the sequence, I'm building a flow chart. If I hit enable, see here, I have a start button now. I have a start button and I can use those two activities which I cannot use it in the sequence, which I can use it in this block. See, in sequence, I'm creating a flow chart template. Inside that, I'm using it. That is the way how I'm doing. In sequence, I'm creating a flow chart. Similarly, I can also do in the flow chart. See here, in the flow chart, I'm going to drag and drop a sequence. And in the sequence, I can add as many as activities I want. See, double click on it and I can use as many as activities. If I want message box, if I want some if condition, and if I want some input dialog, see, everything will be here. Everything will be here in the sequence. But everything will be in a condensed view. See here in the sequence, I have 3 activities. It is showing 3 actions. If you want to view it, double click on it. So that's the reason I'm saying front end will be the flow chart. In the back end, you will be having a sequence. Similar to the use case, here sometimes you want to use so many activities. Why? Because without sequence, none of the flow will be complete. I would feel when we are building in the complex workflow. In that case, see here, in the flowchart itself, I'm using a sequence. Inside sequence, I have a detailed view workflow. This is for us. This is the headache for us, the developer. But this kind of a UI graphical representation is for the business user. Let them enjoy it by seeing it. So this is the way you have to use a flowchart and way you should not use. And this is the way how you can use a sequence in flowchart. And this is the way how you can use flowchart in the sequence. Did you guys get it? Any questions?
Yes.
Like as I said, if you just list out the things and later when you just see it, you're going to get it in better way. Right now, I have just started listing out in the words. But if you have put up these things in your book, then you can easily, by looking at the thing itself, you will understand, okay, this is the difference, what I have. I can use this inside this, but this I cannot use inside that kind of a things. You can differentiate. So this is the difference what we have under sequence and the flowchart. Now, that is what all about an if-else condition. Any questions for me on the first control flow, which is of if-else? We saw in the sequence, we saw in a flow decision. Both the things we saw. Any questions on this if-else part? Controlling the flow by using if-else.
No. Not right now.
Okay. Now, let's move on to the next one. Controlling the flow by using another mechanism, which is loops. We had 3 things. One is if-else, loop, control flow. Now, first thing we have looked in, which is of if-else. Now, let's talk about loops. So, let me use the same existing workflow, which is of sequence and the flowchart. Let me use the same. In this, what is my scenario is when the bot, anyways, the bot is asking me a question, whether it's of a leap year or not. If it is leap year, if it is leap year, then the bot should end the workflow. If it is not a leap year, then the bot should ask me a question again. Till the bot encounters a leap year, it should keep on asking in human a question. Please enter an year. As soon as he gives some year, if it is not leap year, then again ask him a question, whether enter an year. If it is not a leap year, again ask a question. It should keep on asking a question till it finds a leap year. So let's build this. Let's build this looping mechanism. First, let me jump into the flowchart and let me build a looping mechanism here. In flowchart, looping mechanism is very easy. Let me show you how. It should ask a question, check a condition. If it is not leap year, it should ask me this question again, right? See, if that's the case, then what I'm going to do, take this arrow, take this to this point and connect. That's it. See, if it is not leap year, it's going to go and ask us a question. If it is of leap year, it's going to end the workflow. See, whenever you are building, whenever you're working on a loops, always make sure that there is at least one breakpoint for our bot, so that there is at least one point where the bot can exit itself. See, at least there is one exit point for the bot. See here, Right now, we have built an infinite loop mechanism. The bot comes over here. If it is true, it goes back again. If it is false, it goes back again. There is no exit point at all. So this is infinite loop mechanism. So always make sure that when you're working on a loops, you don't build an looping mechanism. There is at least one exit point for the bot. If it is not a loop, it is not a loop. See, if it is not a leap year, then it should ask the question. If it is leap year, then it should give us an output and end the workflow. If it is not, it should keep on repeating. See, this is a looping which you want to build. Now let me run this workflow and check it out, its behavior. I don't know why every time it is taking very long time to run. Since we are in a UiPath, like these people will force us to use the beta version of it before they release to the customers and for the people. So that's the reason I'm right now I have an beta version of the studio. I stopped it and now again I have triggered it. Yeah, I think it's running now. Now the workflow has started. Now it should ask us a question. And if I give a leap year, it should exit. If it is not a leap year, it should keep on asking me a question. See, it's asking me a question. I would say as how about 2015? 2015? No, it's not a leap year. Okay. See, it's asking me again a question. How about 2014? No, it's not a leap year. How about 1998? No, even that is not a leap year. How about 1945? 1945? No, even that is not a leap year. Okay, let me try some future. How about 2050? When 2050 is not a leap year. How about 2016? See, yes, 2016 is a leap year. If I hit OK, the workflow is ended. See, as I wanted my use case, the bot should keep on asking me a question till it finds a leap year, which we build it by just connecting the point, connecting an arrow. Simple. Looping mechanism in flowchart is very simple. Now let's try to build the same looping mechanism in a sequence. Let me go back to my sequence. And here I have an activity. These are my two activities what I have, which I have compressed it. See, this is the button, how you can compress it. Now here I have two activities for dedicatedly for looping in sequence. Let me show you that. We have something called as while and do while. These are the two looping mechanism what we have. Let me drag both of the things and show you the difference. See, while what it does, first it checks a condition, then execute the body. Whereas do while, first execute the body, then check a condition. That's the only difference between while and do while. While means first check a condition, execute the body. Whereas do while, first execute the body, then check a condition. That's the only difference what you have between while and do while. Now what I would do is, let me delete this while. Let me gonna work on this do while. Later, take that while activity as an assignment, and I want you guys to try it out by using a while activity rather than do while. Right now, I'm going to use the do while activity. The same steps, everything remains the same, but the only difference is you're going to be using while activity rather than do while. That's it. The condition also remains the same. Now, if you see here, the body executes as long as the condition is true. The condition what you give over here, if it is true, it's going to execute. If the condition is false, then the bot will exit the loop. As long as condition is true, the bot will keep on executing. If the condition is false, the bot will exit the loop. Now, I want to put up a condition in such a way that every time, whenever the human gives an like a not a leap year, then the condition should be true. As soon as that human gives an year as a leap year, then the bot should exit the loop. So I want to give a condition in such a way that it should work in that way. Let me do that. Let me say as year, anyways mod 4, which we are familiar. If year mod 4, if it is not equal to 0, see, if year mod 4, if it is not equal to 0, then go back, execute this again. If year mod 4, if it is equal to 0, exit the loop. If it is not equal to 0, then the condition is true. When the human give not a leap year, then the condition will be true. The bot will execute this body. If the condition is not equal to 0, then the bot will exit the loop. Now let me run this workflow and check it out. Its behavior now. Whether it's going to work or not. Let's see. I have triggered the workflow. Usually this will not be the time the bot will take to run it. As you can see in your machines, in your studios, as soon as you hit that play button, the bot will start by itself. It will not take that long. I think it's taking too long than expected. Yeah, now it started to load. The workflow has started. It's asking me an year. I would say as how about 2089? The future. 2089? No, it's not a leap year. Okay. How about 2058? No, 2058 is also not a leap year. How about 2066? Even 2066 is not a leap year. How about 2068? Yes, 2068 is a leap year. Right? Okay, the workflow is done. The workflow has stopped. That means when it was not a leap year, the bot was asking me question again and again. When it is a leap year, the bot has stopped executing. See, this is the looping mechanism what we have built over here. Do while, do first execute the body, then check a condition. Now, similar to this, I want you guys to take this as an assignment, which is of an while activity. By using while activity, I want you guys to build this workflow, the same workflow with the same condition, but first the bot will be checking the condition, then it executes the body. That's the only difference. So please take that as an assignment. This is what all about a loop, what I have. Any questions over here on the looping?
No, sir. No
No.
questions.
Okay. So anyways, when you refer this recording, you're going to get that. So no worries. And whenever you practice there, you will encounter many kind of issues and all. So whatever might be the issue, anyways, we have a group, right? Just ping it up over there. We will address it. No issues. So this is a looping mechanism what we have. Now, before I proceed further, I believe you guys have made a note of the sequence and the flowchart, the difference. So I want you guys to just start highlighting one by one. One difference, let Arpit start, and another difference, let Amy give me. So another difference by Arpit, another difference by Amy. So let's see how many differences.
First one is for UI difference.
UI difference.
Yeah, user interface. It is different for sequence and for flowchart.
So what's the difference?
Like it will like it has a start button, but whereas in sequence we don't have any start buttons, as well as sequences looks like a little bit complex, but flowchart it's good.
Sequence is of a detailed view. Flowchart is condensed view. That's what you have to say. Yeah, you said it's right. The UI, it's a difference, but you should put it up in these words: detailed view, condensed view.
Oh.
Yeah. One. Next, Amy.
In sequence, input dialog is shown in detail, and in flowchart, we have to tap the flow decision.
This one, like Arpit said, now
And
it will be included in that.
yeah, what?
Yes, go ahead. Another difference, Amy.
Next difference is of if else. Then
What is if else?
okay, I'm saying that flowchart activities are in backend and sequence is in backend and flowchart is in front end. If we have to show it to I think we can say customer. If he is from a business, then we can show him a flowchart. And otherwise, in a sequence, he cannot understand. Then
So this flowchart will be in the front end, whereas in the back end, the sequence we're gonna be building in the terms of a sequence. So we got the second difference. And Arpit.
Another one is that we cannot use the activities of flowchart in the sequence, but we can use the activity of sequence in a flowchart.
Okay, which are the activities I cannot use? On the screen, I'm just showing the flowchart.
In a sequence, yeah.
Yeah, in the sequence, which are the activities I can use?
Flow switch, I don't know, but right now flow is.
Okay, flow switch.
Which I don't know right now because you didn't tell us. That's
Yes.
why.
In sequence, we can't use flow
so,
decision.
like, which are the activities I can use? Which activities I cannot use?
Flow decision we cannot use in a sequence, but and the flow chart we can use that.
We can use this.
Yeah, we put last time you put in the sequence, that one.
Yeah, you're right. These two activities I cannot use in sequence. This activity I can use it to create a template environment of a flowchart, and I can use inside that I can use this. But all the sequence activities I can use it in flowchart. So I got another difference, third difference. And the fourth one, Amy, over to you.
Another one is for loop.
What regarding loop?
While and do while. In sequence, first.
In sequence?
In while, it will check first condition, then execute the body. And in do while, first it will execute the body, then check the condition.
Okay. So that is what we have in sequence.
Sequence, yeah.
How about in flowchart?
In flowchart, it's going to loop. If its answer is true, then it will end. And if it's not true, then it will again pop up the questions.
Yeah, how we are giving a loop in flowchart?
Sorry, I don't know.
See, in flowchart, we are just giving as an arrow for looping. This is a loop in flowchart. What you're seeing, an arrow. But whereas in sequence, we have to use those activities, do while and do while. So this is the fourth difference. And the next one.
Maybe last one should be the flow decision, the flow decision, and if else. Like in a sequence flow decision, in flowchart we have flow decision, but in sequence we have if else. Different.
Okay.
That one, then maybe the was another else we already mentioned.
I have one more. Regarding if else itself. I have
If else
shown.
itself.
Yes, in if else itself, we have the difference.
Or like control wise. Like the complexity wise or control wise, because control wise it has a if else has a like control in the sequence, but flowchart we have flow decision for control.
Yeah, in the complexity wise.
Complexity wise, like it will be like too complex if we are taking too much if else, like in the flowchart it's looking good, like we can understand easily.
Yes, you're right. So these are the differences what we have. Totally, we have 6 differences what we have listed right now. So these are the major differences between the sequence and the flowcharts. Now, I believe you guys got it, how this sequence and how this flowchart is and how it is working. The actual working behavior, we have seen it. We have seen the 2 things already in the control flow. One is an if else, and second one is of a loops. Now, as I highlighted, the control flow has 3 things. One is if else, loops, and switch. These are the 3 things what we're going to look at. The first 2 we already did. Now it's a time for us to look in as switch. But prior that, in looping itself, we have one specialized kind of a loop in UiPath. Let me show you that, which we call that as in for each. We call that as in for each loop. Let me drag and drop one sequence onto this canvas, and let me take up one use case now. What is the use case is, here in my folder, you can see some set of invoices. It's here. See here, bill 4344341 and invoice 868. So many things. Totally, I have around 3, 4, 5 invoices I have. So totally 5 invoices I have. Now, what my bot has to do is, it has to take one invoice and it has to rename it. See, rename. Rename to what? Rename to that the particular file, the particular name underscore year as 2022 underscore month. What is a month we are in right now? So 10 underscore date. What's the date? 06. See, this is the way how the bot should rename the activities, rename the files over here. So how many files I have? Totally, I have 5 files. The bot should pick it up one by one file from this folder and it has to rename in this fashion. First, the year underscore month underscore date. This is the way how my bot has to do it. Let's see how it can be achieved from our studio. First, let me drag one assign activity, which we guys are familiar. Let me create one variable and I would say as array of files. Let me give one expression over here. Directory dot get files from where. Let me use another assign activity. Let me create as file location. And let me show this is the location where the bot should do the changes, right? So what I'm doing, I'm just taking this, copying it and pasting up over here. So this is the location where I'm feeding. Now in this location, I'm asking my bot to get the file. See, what is the expression I'm giving? Directory. Directory means this is my directory. This is my directory. In this directory, get the files. Get me the files from that particular location. Directory means like in any of the machine, like in the dedicated hard disk, hard drive, and all we'll be having now. See here, O drive, P drive, USB drive, B drive, and all. So that we are referring as a directory. When we use this is of a function, directory is of a function, get files is of a sub function, and we are calling this expression which will get us the file from the particular location. We have to give that location in the bracket. So what is the location we are giving? This is the location. This is the variable it is holding, right? So that is the thing what we are giving. Now this returns a boolean, this returns a collection of data. See here, how many files I have? So totally 5 files, right? See, that means 5 values it's gonna return. So I want to create a variable in such a way that it holds that 5 different values. Let me go back to my variables. I have already created array files, right? So it's of a string type. String type means it can hold only one value. Let me change it to array of string. See, now I don't have any error. That means the value, the files it is taking from this location to, it is taking all the files to this, storing it into this variable. That means it is taking all the files and it is putting up into that variable. Just a minute. So these are the 5 different files. Like the bot gonna pick it up from this location and it's gonna store it in this variable called array files. Once it is stored, next, what bot should do? What bot should do? Our use case is it should pick it up each file one by one and it has to rename. See, it has to take each file. Our English sentence itself is saying each file, for each file, it has to take one by one for each file. See, the way how we speak, that's the same way the activity naming also in UiPath. That's the beauty of it. So that it will be easy for anyone to locate an activities. Here, what I want to do is, I want my bot to take each of the file and rename it. So look for each. See, for each workflow control for each. Let me drag and drop it over here. See, drag and drop the for each activity. Now, I want to give the collection over here. Collection, this is having all the files, right? It is having all the files. That one, I need to give it over here. As soon as I give that over here, what it does is, from this 5 files, it will take one file and it is stored it to this imaginary variable. See, current item, it's of an imaginary variable which will be available only inside this. Only inside this imaginary variable is available. Only inside this. Let me show you that as well. Let me use an assign activity and okay, rather than assign, let me drag a right line activity. There's my right line. Yeah, see here, if I hit current item, see, local variable, current item, local variable as a string. If you see in your variable panel, I don't see current item. But if I go out of this container and if I try to type current, see, I don't see current item. That means this is of an imaginary variable which will be available only within this container. So what this variable gonna be holding? It's gonna be holding and values. One value from this collection. Let me repeat it. It's gonna hold one value from this collection. Now, let me show you the properties of this for each. The properties of the for each, every time when you're working, right now they have built this for each activity in such a way that the type of argument, it will be set it automatically. But usually this type of argument in some of the, like in your version of the studio and all, this type of argument you need to keep an eye on. See, right now, what is the type of data I'm working? See, this is open what type of data? See, string array. Bracket means array. So don't consider that array, the bracket. Look at the first part, string. So you want to change that type of argument to string. Always remember, when you're using it for each activity, look at the keep an eye on type of argument. If it is set it to the type of argument what you are working, it's fine. If it is not set it, then change it. Right now it is set it to string, so no issues for me. Next. So for each activity you understood. From this collection, one value will be assigned to this current item and it will be processed. It will be available within this container. Now, let me use an assign activity over here. Let me create a variable, I would say as new file name. Let me put up one expression and later let me explain you what is that expression is doing. Okay, see here, if I want to change this current item, I don't want the naming convention as current item. I just want something as a fancy word like file name kind of a thing rather than this. Can I do it? If I want to do it, how to do it? See, current item anyways, as a showcase, it is not available over here. If I want to change it, how to do it? See, here itself you can change rather than current item. If you want file name in this way, you can give it. It will be available. It will be renamed. See, right now, if I type file name, see here, it is available. File name, local variable, it's available. The same thing. Now let me use this file name dot. Let me put up this expression and later let me explain. Let me just replace that dot PDF with with now dot to string in the terms of underscore year underscore month underscore date by appending with dot PDF. If I just close this, then it's done. This activity is done. Next, I would use something as a move file activity. And I'm going to pick it up the file from this to the new file location. And see, that's it. This workflow is done now. If I run this workflow, just check it out. What happens? Right now, these are the files. What I want my bot to rename all of these files by appending with current today's date, time, today's date with the year, month, date. That's what my bot has to do with. Now let's see how my bot does. Execution started, not yet. In the meantime, let me show you something. I would say as time format. Okay, as I see, this workflow is completed. See here, it started and completed within 2 seconds. And if I see my output, see here, it has renamed all my files with year and the month and the date. See, it is appended. That means my workflow is running as expected. It is renaming all my files. Let me undo the things what the bot have done. And now let's investigate what exactly my bot is doing. For that, let me open up a notepad. And here, first, let me go step by step and see what my bot is doing. Step in. Let me copy this expression over here so that it will be easy for me. So I'm executing this workflow. Step in. See, assign. First assign. Look, file location. Where are my files? See, this is the files, right? So this is the location what I have given. And I'm trying to store it in a variable called file location. Simple. If I use step in, see here, file location, it's holding just a location. That's it. Next, as I said, I'm using an expression, right? Directory.get files. From that location, directory, the directory is of a function, and get files is of a sub function. I'm asking that to get this files, only the files. Even though I have a folder, the bot will pick it up only the files. See, this returns me right now. It is holding null value. If I step in, just see what happens. See, array of files. What it is holding? It is holding the location of each of the file. See here, one file. I can show you that value. Array files. If I want to access each value, if you remember our previous class, array file of 0 means I'm going to get one value, right? So totally it has 5 values. This is of an immediate panel. If I give that expression, I will get an output, what the bot is going to give us. See, if I say array of 0 while running, while the bot is in a run mode, if I hit enter, I don't know, there might be some glitch. Let me put up this expression again. See, array of 0 means it is giving the complete location of that file with the file name. See here, the location, the complete location, and at the end, bill 4344341.pdf. This is the way how the bot is reading the files. It is taking the complete location of each of these files. It is taking the complete location of each of these files. As you can see, array of 0, it's holding 1. Similarly, it is holding the location of all the 5 files. See, last file is scan invoice 19 issue. See, scan invoice 19 issue. That's the thing. That's the way how it is holding all the files. Next, what I'm doing, as I said, I'm going to iterate through each of the file, right? So let me hit step in and see. If I use step in, the bot has enter the for each. So see here, file name. If I see the value, see it is holding the first one, which is bill 43441. That means out of this file, the bot have took 1 and it is stored into this variable. From this collection, it took 1 and it is stored into this for processing. Now let me copy this. File name is of a variable that is holding this as a value, which we got. Next, what I'm doing, I'm giving this as an expression. So below is my expression. This is the expression. Now you know what this file name is holding. File name is holding, this is the value. Now in this value, see here, in this value, okay, before I explain, let's come from the core. Here we have now.toString, right? What is this now.toString? Let me copy this. Now.toString, what it returns. See, this of an immediate panel. If I type now.toString, the same expression what I saw over there. Let me see. See, it is returning current date and time. See, right now, date is month is 10, date is 6/2022, time is this the time. See, this now.toString returns me this. If I give now.toString in the bracket year, month, date in this format, let me see what bot returns. See, if I hit enter, see, look at the date and time. If I give now.toString, but if I give in this format, return me. See, in the same format, it is returning me 2022 10/06. In this way, it is returning. So now.toString with that expression, the bot will return me the value in this way. So this complete expression will return me the output in this way. Now you might be wondering why for year I have given small y and month as capital M, D as small d. If you refer, as I said, this platform is completely built on .NET, right? See, this is often Microsoft like a documentation where you can see if you want date 01/15, give small d. If you want Let me just scroll down. Hours, minutes, seconds. See, this is regarding month. If you want 06 or 6 or double M means, small m means 0945 something. Minutes, that is minutes. Small m indicates minutes. Capital M indicates month. If you give 3M, it just return you JUM, 3 characters. If you give 4M, it returns you the complete month in terms of name. So right now we have given 2M, 2 capital M, which returns us the number. And similarly year, see here, 4Ys, it returns us the complete year. By referring this document, I have given this year as 4Y. See, I want in this format, right? Underscore year, underscore capital MM, underscore small d. By referring this documentation, I have built that. Now, how can you get it? You can just look for MSDN date and time format. You'll get the documentation, which you can refer, which we got it. See here, now.toString, it is returning us this as a value. Now, we know this expression has written, this is the value the bot have written. Now, let me optimize this. Optimize this expression now. So this was the expression. Now let's see what will be the expression. This part is replaced with this value. This complete part till here replaced with this value. Now what I'm doing, this value plus, this is of a string value, string plus dot PDF. That means concatenation. What bot does? It just join both of the things in this way. That's it. That is the difference. The plus concatenation. It is joining both of the things. In this way, it has joined. Next, what happens? Fourth step is, if you remember, file name, it's holding this value, right? In this value, I'm asking the bot to replace, see, replace dot PDF with this value. I'm asking the bot to take the file name and remove .pdf, replace that with this value. See, look at the difference. Previously, it was only .pdf, but now year, month, date, .pdf. So this expression will return me that. See, this expression will return me this as an output. That is the way how this expression is working. Now let me show you both of the things at one place. File name. See, file name is this. If I use step in, just see what will be the new file name variable. New file name variable, right now it's null. If I hit step in, if I look in the immediate panel, new file name, look at the difference. See, bill 4344341 underscore year underscore month underscore date .pdf. Now what I'm doing, I'm just playing a small trick. What is the trick is, I'm asking my bot to copy, to move from this location to same location. See, if you want to cut and paste, just see, if I use Control X, look at the things. It is something like faded out, right? You can see the difference between this and this. This one I have cut it, Control X added. It is faded out. That means even though you can see a file over here, but it is moved. It is ready to move to some different location. That is what I'm trying to say over here. In the Windows, what you're seeing right now, I have just trying to move from the file from this location to another location. That's the reason what I did. I have just used Control X. That means imaginarily this physically this file is here, as you can see on the screen, but imaginarily the bot the Windows application, the Windows OS, it has removed the file from this location. That is the actual way how in the operating system it is running. We are making use of that in the workflow. What we are asking the bot to move the file. Move the file means physically it is there, but imaginarily the bot is taking out this file and putting up that same file in the same location with a modified file name. See, that's the reason what I'm doing. Move file, move from this location, the same location, take out that file and put up the same file with this naming convention. That's what this activity is doing. If I would step in, just see what happens. See, it's done. It's renamed. It renamed it. Now, if I would step in again, see, second file is done. If I would step in again, see, right now, invoice 432, it's nothing. If I would step in, see, even that is renamed. If I hit continue, you're going to do for rest of the two. This is the way how the bot is iterating through each one of the file, one after the other, and it is renaming it. This is the way how the bot will work in live environment as well. Any questions over here on the for each or on the expression what we have discussed? Did you guys get this?
I get it, but not any question for now.
Okay. So as I said, anyways, this session is recorded. Post this session, I'll be just uploading. So refer that recording and parallelly do it in your studio so that you will understand the concepts in better way. And if you have any questions, you can put it in the group. I can help you with that.
Sure.
Yeah. So Arpit, are you good? Did you get that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll watch the whole video and I'll do practice with that. And if I'll get any difficulty, I'll post in our group,
Sure.
or I'll ask question in our group.
Sure. So the anyways, we're gonna be catching up again on Monday. Right now, we are done with this week. So we'll be catching up on Monday on 10th. So on 10th, I want you guys to be very much familiar with this variables, arguments, arrays, and this control flow, this sequence, flowchart, if else, loops, all the loops you should be familiar. We are left with only switch activity, which we will discuss in our next class, and we will move forward. But till this point, you guys to be very much familiar with all the things by referring the recordings and take that the while loop as an assignment. You work on that and build the same workflow what I have built. Just take some dummy PDF files and put it up in one location and work on it so that you'll get the things in a better way.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll be uploading this complete folder also in our shared drive. You can refer it and you can refer the recordings and you can work on that. Now that's it from my end. We'll catch up on the next week then.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.